Most expensive firewood in the world? Check this out. If things don't go to plan, you've got to improvise. Rocket fuels that I've got. The older it gets, the better it gets. Check this out. In this video, we're going to be burning some of the most expensive firewood in our fireplace in the form of wood burls. Check this out. When you get your firewood delivered, always keep an eye out for wood burls just like this. And I'm talking gnarly wood, because this stuff can be worth a crazy amount of money. I'm talking in the thousands if you hit the jackpot. And this is like little bits of gold in your wood. But in this video, we're going to weigh out 3 kilos and we're going to set the fireplace up and we're going to talk a little bit more about this product and why it's so expensive. So what we have here are 3 wood burls and we're going to weigh out as close to 3 kilos as we can get. Now these two weigh 2.7 kilos, which is the best part of 6 pounds. And I'm not actually going to be burning this big one here today because I actually want to keep this one for decoration purposes because it's just so cool. That was a crazy throw. I chucked them from behind the camera and they went straight into that little gap. I couldn't do that again if I tried a million times. We've opened the bottom and the top vent fully. We've got a little bit of kindling. We've got our main wood burrs, which are about 2.7 kilos in total. And we've also got an inch of ash there. The ash on the bottom, if you're burning wood, is really good to keep about an inch there. Great for insulating your stove. But I think this is going to be a really, really interesting burn. And we're going to see how long does it burn for, what kind of temperatures can we get out of it, and how does it react in the fire. Because I've heard a lot that it says it can be unpredictable. You might be asking, how did I come across these wood burls? Well, I used to buy massive sacks of wood, and when I got those sacks of wood, I just found these in a few of them, and I never burned them at the time because I thought they were really interesting and gnarly, and I thought, what are they? I didn't know what they were at the time, but as I found out, they are wood burls, and these can be used for loads of different things, which we're going to get into in this video. But let's check in on the fire first and see how things are going. We're about 5 minutes in here. 5 minutes in here, the kindling is doing exactly what we want it to do, which is just to get everything up to operational temperature here. And we are just shy of that there, around about 250. Probably got another 5 minutes or so to go till we are in optimal. At the 10-minute mark, just take a look at this. So they seem to have caught really, really well in there, and these things are really dense too, so we should get some really good heat out of them and some good burn times, but we will see. I just want to say a massive thanks to everyone who watches my videos. It means the world to me, it really does. But there's some crazy people out there who've actually joined the channel membership, which is like a monthly thing, and it's 99 pence a month. So what for you guys, I've actually created some of these special emotes, which I thought was a bit of fun because I don't ask anyone. You don't need to join the channel members or nothing like that. Just watching my videos means more than anything to me, really. But for the people who have gone out of their way to kind of join this channel membership, I've given you guys these emotes because that's all I can really give you, you know. Hopefully as time progresses I might have more, but thank you so much and enjoy the emotes for now. 10 minutes in, check this out. Everything's caught really, really well. Seem to have an even burn, which is great, and we have just got into optimal, which is perfect. So let's see how long this stuff can burn for. At the 15-minute mark here, we are perfectly in optimal, so we are going to be closing the door. We are turning down our bottom vent completely, and because of the material that we are working with here, a real tough hardwood, which is really, really knotty, I'm just going to turn the top vent down by about 20 or 30%. I think this test, we're going to have to run slightly hot on it to keep the fire going in there really well. But we'll see, we'll adjust things throughout the test. Wood burl like this is actually a growth on the side of a tree. And it's normally in a deformed kind of swirling pattern, and it could be caused from many different things, you know, infection, injury, a disease maybe. And this is kind of the tree's way, I guess, of kind of healing itself. And the way that it creates this wood burl is actually like a tough knot, basically. And it's a very tough wood. It's very hard as well. And it creates this crazy kind of decorative effect as well. And I just think it's a really interesting piece of wood that I never knew about until I found these in the bottom of a bag one day, because I'm just not in that space. But it's pretty crazy if you ask me. You know, we can't be burning some gnarly wood like this without checking some of the moisture levels. So let's see what the piece that I have left is reading. The piece that I'm going to be keeping as more of a decorative item, but let's just dig this in here and see what we've got here. So we read in 15.5, which is exactly what the others read. 15 and 16%, which is perfect. 30-minute mark, check this out. It's still going in there, but it's such a hard wood, we're going to have to really open these vents up. But just take a look at this. It's kicking out some good heat. We're bang in the middle as always, which is the perfect, exactly where we want to be. So because this is such a hard wood and knotty wood, I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get this to keep going. So we're going to have to keep the vents open on this, and I might even have to add a little bit of kindling throughout the process here just to keep this going, because these things are really fighting the fire in there. As you can see, the fire hasn't spread, you know, and you do get this sometimes. So let's work it out together and find a good way to keep this lit and keep it in the optimal zone. I'm going to add in one of my little rocket fuels that I've got. Now, I've done a video on these particular heat logs before, and they are great for situations like this. Check this out. So as you can see, adding in that little rocket fuel heat log there is just going to keep this going, because these burrs are fighting the fire like nothing else. Sometimes if things don't go to plan, you've got to improvise, and we've always got to have a backup plan for when this happens. At the hour mark here, we really had to improvise over the last 10 minutes. So we put in a little bit more kindling, but as you can see, everything is burning really, really well. And when I say kindling, I mean the rocket fuel heat logs, the little ones I just showed you. And them things go up like crazy. So I'm really going to keep the vents open for this one, and I'll talk about the vents as we go through the process, just to show you what I'm doing. But as you can see, everything's caught really well, and that little bit of improvisation there has really helped things in here. And that's the story of life, you know, you've got to improvise and you've got to do what you've got to do to make work what you want to work. At the hour mark now, this is exactly what we want to see. We want to see all of the wood there engulfed in the flames just like that. And also, this is exactly what we want to see too. We want to see it in the middle of optimal like that. And we're going to have to run this one between the 4 and 500, I think. So I'm going to try to keep it there throughout this test, because this wood is going to react a lot better to the higher temperatures and the vents being a little bit more open. Hour and 15 minutes in, check this out. Seems everything's caught really well. It's burning really, really evenly, which is good to see. And everything's going great so far. As you just seen there, I moved the wood a little bit, and I just made sure there was air under the wood, and as you can see there, it's had a great result. And I think being proactive in your approach to, you know, the positioning of wood, if something's not working like it wasn't in this particular instance, just change things up and find what does work. Creating that little air void under that piece of wood there has made a massive difference. Check that out. The price of this can vary depending on where you are in the world, but where I'm from, this stuff can cost up to £50 per kilo, which is crazy when you think about it. Check those prices out up there. You know, you can see this stuff is extremely expensive, you know, and there's many reasons for that, you know. Woods craftsmen love it, you know, it's very decorative as well, and it's got multiple uses, you know. This stuff is to be found, kept and cherished, not to be burnt like I'm doing today. I'm doing it for educational purposes and scientific reasons as well, because I want to know how much heat it kicks out, I want to know how long it burns for, and it's burning extremely well, but it's coming with its own challenges. Coming up to the hour and a half mark, we've got everything going really, really well, and take a look at this. We are bang in the middle of optimal. Perfect for the evening burn that we've got going here. And it seems to be burning extremely well. So at the 2 hour mark here, we overcome a few obstacles in the beginning, but I wonder how long this stuff will actually burn for. It's a really knotty, tough wood, so it should get some really good burn times. Bang in the middle of optimal at this 2 hour mark, and things are going really well. 2.5 hours in, just check this out. Look at this. You know, once these things establish themselves, they do kick out some serious heat, and look at this. Perfectly in optimal there. We're running about 450 at the minute or so. I've positioned them now so the fire's in the middle there, and it's just working its way in, but you can see how red hot these are here at the bottom. Honestly, the heat. This is a bit like a fine wine. The older it gets, the better it gets. Check this out. As we are being a little bit more proactive with this burn in terms of moving the material around a little bit, I'm just going to put this piece back to where it belongs, but just look at those red hot embers that we have there. I'm going to move this over a bit as well. It's definitely got some time left in there, because this stuff is, listen to this, solid as a rock. The 3 hour and 10 minute mark here, as you can see, is still kicking out some heat, and it's still bang in the middle of optimal, which is great. It'll be interesting to see where these lie, you know, how long can we get? Can we get close to the 4 hour mark? I don't know, but we're going to see where this starts to die off and where we have to add new fuel. But I've constantly had to adjust things, I've had to move the fuel around, I've had to add things in, I've had to adjust the valves as well. So this test hasn't come without its problems, but what an interesting product anyway, and definitely something to keep an eye out for. But let's see how long this lasts. At the 3.5 hour mark here, I've got to say I'm really impressed with what these wood burrs have actually kicked out. Look at that. Red hot in the middle of there. We have started to cool down a little bit in there now. This is the perfect time to refuel a fire. Check this out. The temperature's in low optimal. We've got loads of nice hot coals ready to go. You want to get a nice hot coal bed, so just move the hot coals around a little bit, just like this. Select your new firewood. In this case, we have some nice birch. Check that out. Some of the best stuff you can get. And watch this go up. I'm expecting everyone to go and check their wood stores to see if they've got any of this wood gold hanging about, because you could be sitting on a gold mine. But look, 2.7 kilos of the wood burr actually lasted me 4 hours and 8 minutes exactly before I refueled the fire, which I think is a great result. You know, I hope a lot of people have learned a lot of different things about wood burr like this in this video. You know, would I burn it again? Absolutely not. It's worth too much to burn. Put it on the marketplaces, keep it as ornamentals, or make something out of it. Thanks for watching this video as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Pow!